Jaelen Waters decommits from the Gators. Jalen Waters decommits from the Gators. Excuse me. He's the 142nd ranked prospect on the 247 composite. 6'2", 170 out of Armwood, Sefner, same school that Desmond Watson had attended. This is it's a pretty big loss when you lose a player who is rated this highly. You never do want to lose a player who's in that top 150, especially. Probably following Will Harris to Miami, this had been something that we've not necessarily expected to happen, but it was something that was like, it could happen at really any time. And I'd guess the fact that Will Harris did leave and did go to Miami probably was like that last straw that caused Jaelen Waters to end up decommitting, already getting crystal balls to end up committing to Miami. He had been committed to FSU beforehand as well. So it looked like he's going to be making the whole trip of Florida. Don't know how many guys you end up seeing committed to all three Florida schools. That's pretty cool, I guess. But it's February 16th. Sign day isn't for another 10 months. I'm not going to be worried about a kid decommitting in February. I mean, when you look at our class from 2025 in February of 2024, it's a pretty big difference. I mean, heck, even in November, the class was ranked in the 50s. And then we got it to 8th. I think it's the 8th ranked class now. In the 2025 class, ended up finishing ranked 8th. Yeah. And like right there with Auburn. Like it's one or two players short of being a top 6 level class. So there we go. I'm not going to worry about losing a player in February when you still have 10 months to recruit other players who could be ranked higher, maybe lower, and when you have a different cornerback coach coming in, maybe he doesn't like the guy, maybe he likes other players more. Maybe he has his own players to bring in.
Yeah, sorry about the network issues. Seems to be working now. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this is that big of a deal, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I mean, first of all, it's 2025. No recruit decommitting is that big of a deal because it's just the nature. I mean, we're more than a year out from signing day. Guys now are not even locked in when they sign because they can leave at pretty much any given time. So,
yep.
I mean, there's no reason to be too concerned about this. We saw Florida change the trajectory of its 2025 class pretty significantly in a week, 2 weeks.
That's exactly what I was talking about when you were
okay, yeah, sorry.
So that's exactly
what
I'm
repeating your point. But yeah, I think that a lot can change. I mean, I think you were saying we kind of thought he was maybe going to go to Miami in the first place. Will Harris leaving probably just made that, all but a formality, which he hasn't officially committed to Miami yet, has he?
No. He has crystal balls, but he has not officially.
Okay. I mean, we'll just see. Florida doesn't have a lot going on right now as far as 2026 recruits go, but as we get closer to the season, obviously that's going to ramp up a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was a kid. I'm kind of shocked that even when Will Harris was here, that was getting talks about flipping to Miami already, because during the season and during the upturn in our commitments, he was tweeting a lot, laughing at other people who were making fun of Billy Napier. So then when I started getting alerted that, hey, Miami is legitimately in this, this could happen at any moment. It could happen this weekend, could happen in 2 weeks. I mean, it's a big surprise, honestly, because, I mean, I don't have his tweets pulled up, but he was really pro-Billy and really pro-Florida. So like a kid who wanted to be here. I already mentioned he's from a school that produced some Florida talent like Desmond Watson, someone who's a 5-year or 4-year player here. So it's kind of surprising. Him flipping now isn't, but if you would have told me 2 months ago that, Jaelen Waters, of the 3 commits in the 26 class, he's going to be flipping or decommitting, I probably would have been surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any specific insight on this specific situation, but I just say, generally speaking, this is just a lot less of a relationship based business now. Like I'm sure he does believe in Billy and had that kind of relationship with this staff, but like at the end of the day, if Miami comes in and offers more than Florida is willing to do, because at the end of the day, it's a limited resource, like there's only so much you can do about that. Again, I'm not saying that's what happened here, but those are the kind of things that happen a lot in recruiting now. And it's just like, you basically have two options. You can either, match what's happening and maybe, run the risks that come with that, or you just deal with it and move on to someone else. So just kind of is what it is. But yeah, a lot of time to kind of recover that momentum on the trail for 2026. Wouldn't say it's something I'm too worried. I mean, if you come out and win this year and you're a playoff contender, I think 2026 recruiting will more or less take care of itself at that point. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure Darren Wilson, he's probably already recruiting some other players to come to UF. I mean, we mentioned this earlier in the show. UF is stacked with athletic talent like DBs and receivers. So we're going to get our guys. I mean, we got Ben Hanks and Onis Conanbanny in this past class. So we already got some 4-star corners. Even somehow Ben Hanks is a 5-star, as we talked about. So I'm not too worried at this point about corner. I mean, there are a lot of DBs in this class that we have some looks at. I mean, we talked about Braylon Womack and Aiden Pouncey, safeties. Well, how those high school recruiting can be, where someone can be listed as a safety, but we can be recruiting them as a corner, and we can be a corner or safety, vice versa. There's all types of different way those things can go. So again, it sucks to lose a player who's in who's ranked in that top 150, but it's way too early on. You can finish as someone ranked as a low 2-star. I mean, not 2-star, 4-star. I mean, you can finish as a 5-star.